G'day guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Flint here. I'm doing a review today of my latest motorcycle. This is quite fun. It's a DRZ 400E 2012. I've dressed it up Christmas time, so here we go. This is Rudolph. So I got this from a guy down in Townsville, and the modifications that it had at that time was the radiator guard had been put on, bash plate, and I don't know, I think they come stock like that, but some of them are only electric. This one has also has the kickstart, so you can start the bike if your battery's down or flat, or if you've left the battery on, which I really like that, because the bike before this I had a Yamaha XT 225, and it was only electric. And at one occasion I was quite worried because the battery was going flat, and it's just a nice, I feel a lot more safer having the Kickstarter on it. And it is 400cc, but it's doable. I'm like just under 65 kilos and I can kick it fine. So now it's just had, since I got it, it's just had a major service because there are a few things that needed fixing up. The fork covers here, they were worn out, so I got them changed. I got the fluid changed in the front forks. I got the brake fluid changed. I got the radiator coolant changed. Put a new rear sprocket on, a new front sprocket on. What else did they change? A new chain's been put on. New brake lever. I got bark busters, and those are the modifications. Now, the reason I put the bark busters on is because I'd dropped it and I'd broken the brake lever, and so I wanted to put those on because then you don't have to worry about dropping the bike. And so it's been really good since having that major service. It was just under $1,000 getting all that done. But it rides completely differently to how it rides now. To how it rode before I had the service done. So it's feels like a new bike. So there it is. Oh, the other thing that happened was the exhaust was it was blowing back. It was having a little blowback. No, not blowback. Backfiring. It was backfiring, and so I think he replaced something in the exhaust as well. So now, yeah, she's basically pretty fresh now, and the tyres have probably got half of their wear left on them, probably 50% tread left. But fun bike, and it's the biggest bike I've ever gotten. You can see some videos on my YouTube channel. I rode a Honda CBR 250R. That was a great bike, really good bike. And then the XT Yamaha 225, didn't really like that. It had 6 gears, which was cool because you could cruise on the highway really well. But this has been so much better than the XT 225. Although I needed that because it was a stepping stone. I don't think any beginner rider can just hop on a DRZ 400. You need to have some prior riding experience, whether that's on a pit bike and then a smaller road bike. So I think it's a good stepping stone, but I have been finding it at times difficult in terms of the height. I mentioned that, I said how I mentioned when I dropped it, I then had a lot of trouble picking it up, but I also wasn't using the correct technique for picking it up. So I looked up some YouTube videos, and there is a proper way to do it. So I've got to give that a try sometime, picking it up properly. But it's heavy. It's heavy for someone that's only 65 kilos. I think the bike's around 130 kilos, I think. It's got the stock fuel tank. The fuel efficiency, it's probably like 7 litres, I reckon, per 100. It depends when that's on highway. I mean, once you go off road, your consumption changes quite a bit. But yeah, that's the DRZ 400E. I really like that. They're very cool coloured bikes. I love the yellow, and they're very renowned in Australia because they last a long time, and they can be dropped and thrashed around, and they just keep going. So Oh, he also put on the new grips. So, and I've got... Oh, and that's the other mod that was done. You can hear it, but they put fans behind the radiator, and that's not a stock feature. So I'm pretty sure that is not stock standard on the DRZ 100s, at least for the 2012 model. So it's got just under 12,000 Ks. Yeah, right now where I'm on the Mount Wollum. Well, this is actually the road that takes you to Herberton. It's the old Herberton Road, I think. And that's in Atherton, Queensland, Australia. But it's there's barely anyone out today because it's so close to Christmas. I think it's the 21st December. But yeah, there's barely past anyone. The town was completely quiet. Past 2 cyclists, and that was it. Yeah, that tranquil to the birds. I'll let them hear the sound of my people, not the sound, the song of my people. Yeah, and I've added some, a few other decorations here and there. These are great. These are actually for your car, but with a Velcro strip, you can put them on down here, and then Velcro it around the fork. And the same with the other side. And those you can just tuck in around there. And you got yourself a reindeer. But no, I'm not sure where to go from here because I've been wanting to learn how to wheelie, and this works best in second gear. But then there's the issue with it. They're quite high bike. I'm 5'8", 5'9", 5'8", I think, 175 centimeters around that mark, and I don't know if it's still manageable, but I'm not sure if I will go back down to a lighter bike or not. We'll see what the future holds. We'll see, because I've heard a bit about the KLX is a good a good beginner bike as well, because I'm not extremely experienced with bikes. I'm not going to make out to be some experienced rider because I am still learning, and so I may downsize to a smaller bike, because you know what they say, if you can't pick it up, don't ride it. Well, that's what I've heard one person say, but yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see. But I think these are they're all good all-round bike, because you can ride them on the road and they have good off-road performance as well. This is way better than the Yamaha XT I had, XT225. And from here you go up to the 600, 650 is it? The DRZ 650? They call that the bush pig. And that thing, I can't imagine that. Man, that thing would fly. But yeah, okay. I think that's all for this review today. I'm starting to blabber a bit, but that's about everything. So there it is, guys, the 2012 DRZ 400E on the Mount Wollum Trail in Atherton, Far North Queensland, Australia. Well guys, we made it to the top of Mount Wollum, so this is what the view is like. It's pretty spectacular. You can see this direction, those windmills, they've only recently been put there, about a year or so ago, maybe 18 months. That's Mount Emerald, and then pretty sure, keep going that way, that's Mariba. It's not too many clouds in the sky, which is good. It's not overcast, so good view today. So you can see people quite often come up here and have a fire. I camped up here once when I had the you know, the troop carrier. I camped kind of right where we're parked, or just here, and man, it was cold because your altitude up here, Tablelands is high up, you know, compared to where Cairns is, which is like sea level, and then you go up Mount Wollum or any of the mountains, it gets very cold at night. Man, yeah, but it was a lot of fun riding this up. It's just, there's always enough power there. You know, if you need the power, it's there. Just the throttle and away she goes. See, I don't think these are electronically fuel injected. I'm pretty sure they're all carbureted. You know, the old school carby. But no dramas getting up here. I don't know what grade you'd call it. Oh, look at this. Oh, some nice. It looks like pretty good rope. And I'm trying to think what grading you would say this track would be. I mean, it's you need a four-wheel drive if you're coming up in a car. Or yeah, I wouldn't say, certainly probably intermediate, still sort of level. Getting up to the top of Mount Wollum, you need to have some experience four-wheel driving for sure, because you need that. But yeah, this is it. Rudolph made it. Time to go and deliver some presents. Nah. Demon. Yeah, quite often you will come up here and there's no one here, because not many people know about Mount Wollum. At least it seems that way. All the times I've come up here. Kind of local knowledge, I guess. But public domain now. Nah. So if you're up this way, Mount Wollum, I can certainly recommend it if you've got the suitable vehicle. You know, either a dirt bike or a four-wheel drive. And definitely worth the view. Definitely worth the drive. Just quickly show you guys the other side. You can easily just walk here. This faces Atherton, and then over there, if you look very closely, that's Lake Tinaroo. So Cairns is that way. Yeah, and Mount Bartle-Frere is there, and Bellenden Kerr, I think it's called. Bartle-Frere, Bellenden Kerr, something. The two tallest mountains in Queensland. One of them's over there. But yes, this is the other side that you can, there's quite a view here too. I seen Atherton's raised up because it's on a plateau. So years ago, all the volcanoes shooting up molten and stuff, and we learn about it in year 8, but it just pops up some of the ground and then you end up with this little hill plateau or something, and that's what Atherton sits on. And Yungaburra over there, and then Kirai's out there. Yungaburra's all the way back there. Lake Tinaroo, Kirai, Yungaburra further back there. You got Atherton then over in that direction, so like Malander, and further is Ravenshoe, and Herberton is this other direction over there. But yes, that's it.